Right, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live on SABC2 and SABC News Channel 404. The closing date for applications for Lesotho Special Permits to allow more time for Basotho nationals to apply for permits is almost here. The initial closing date for applications, you'd recall, it was on the 30th of June this year, but the date was then extended by 3 months, which was then the 30th of September, and then it was then extended to the end of this month, the 31st of December. The Lesotho Special Permit is issued under the special dispensation for Lesotho nationals who work, study or do business in South Africa and had been in the country in such capacity before the 30th of September last year, which is 2015. Now, special permits are issued only to Lesotho citizens that are registered in the National Population Register of Lesotho. To look back as to how the process has unfolded, we joined in our studios in Johannesburg by the spokesperson from the Department of Home Affairs in Lesotho, Tumelo Raboletsi. Morning Live.
Palestine, and a very good morning to our viewers at home.
Well, thank you so much for coming through. How have things been and how have the Basotho responded to the call? I know the last time you were here on Morning Live, the numbers were not looking good.
Numbers were not looking good, and we did articulate reasons why numbers were not looking good. But we are fairly comfortable that since the extension, we did see upsurge, although, you know, whenever an announcement of the extension is made, there's usually a decline in the uptake of the application. But if you contrast the numbers, I think we are sitting at almost 200,000 of people who have applied.
And you were looking at how many people applying?
Well, based on researches that were made, Basotho who work in those categories are estimated to be in and around 500,000.
Sure.
So even that,
it's not even half of what you were
not
looking
even
for.
Half of.
But part of the reasons, I mean, we touched on this the last time you were on Morning Live, that a lot of people are complaining about the price or the money that they need to pay in order to obtain this permit, 970. Which, of course, a lot of them are saying it's a lot of money. Even employers of these employees are saying,
Yes, that's one. But if you look at the bigger picture, really the price hasn't. It is. I need not underestimate that it is a concern to a number of Basotho. But that is not a major, at least based on what we have learned thus far. The challenge that many of them have been experiencing with respect to application centers around the requisite documents to apply, mainly. One,
like your passport and your ID.
Your passport, your ID, and of course your proof of business, if you are running a business, or prove that you are indeed employed in the republics. So those have been the dominating factors of the slow uptake of applications thus far.
All right. The importance of all the Basothos to be in possession of this permit.
I mean, the importance of Basotho to apply for this permit, especially around this time, many of them are heading back home. In the past, they knew that they would be subjected, or rather, they will not even end up getting home.
Yeah.
They will be heading to prisons because they will be caught for reasons that they have overstayed, for reasons that they have been caught working in the Republic without requisite permits. Now, the permit says to all of our citizens in the Republic, once we have a permit, for the next 3 years, because the permit is 4 years, the first year it's almost over. The next 3 years, you will be working, running business or studying without fear of arrest and or deportation. So the benefit of one having a permit, it's significant.
And I believe it's also beneficial to the employers, because some of them might find themselves without any helpers, nannies, or even just your normal employees at the beginning of next year if they don't assist in ensuring that they obtain these permits. That
is why we are also calling on employers to support the process. I know for one, and I've met a number of employers who are employing Basotho who would tell you, Nepal, is that in and around, whenever Basotho were going home, they would be very concerned whether or not they will ultimately come back, because they would not know what would happen on the way to their respective homes in Lesotho. So the benefit of, not only that, the benefit of ensuring that you have someone who is in the country working for you legally, one can then live home, knowing very well that the kids are taken care of by somebody who has been or who is regulated in the country.
All right. Fela le bona ka lesedi le fihle mo le lokelang go fihla teng go Basotho ba lokelang go fumana ditokomane. The reason I'm asking this it's because it certainly looks like some officials at the border post are still threatening them to destroy their passports. That's the term that they use. So do the Basotho really understand what is currently happening?
I think it's twofold. One, I think our citizens, Basotho, have received the message. Many of them are now familiar and aware that there is a general amnesty, that there is a moratorium on arrest and deportation. But the challenge that they still face is exactly what you are raising, and it's exactly what we are appealing on. And Director General of Home Affairs, Ntate Pleni, was in Maseru last week meeting his counterpart, Advocate Brena Habokete Skonyela. And one of the things that they emphasized, and they called upon the police, because that's where the challenge is. Okay. They called upon the police and reminded them that a moratorium on arrest and deportation of Basotho who are found in the country to have committed immigration-related offenses will be lifted at the end of March 2017.
All right.
And so there's no reason why whenever Basotho is on his way to
should be threatened. Yeah, so closing date, it's final, no extension this time around, 11 days left before they could apply for this permits.
There won't be any extension.
There won't be any extension. All right, thank you so much. There you have it. That's the spokesperson from the Department of Home Affairs in Lesotho, Tumelo Raboletsi, talking to us about the deadline of the working and studying permits for the Basotho nationals staying in South Africa. So you've got 11 days left in order for you to apply for that permit.